Alright guys, so last week I posted a combo video for the Maliss Kashtira deck that I've been working on. And I got a lot of comments asking for a deck profile. So I've got it right here. A couple quick notes before we get into it. This is kind of like a kind of default build, right? Like early format, just kind of cookie cutter to play around with until, you know, we figure out what's going to be good. And then you kind of tech around that. This is a pretty basic build right now, but I'll go over some of the reasoning on why we play certain cards and the ratios, and why we don't play certain cards. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. For the Maliss names, it's very standard. Actually, I guess not. We're just maxing out on them right now. The Gold Sark, and then one of each trap. A lot of the like Fiendsmith builds will cut down on like chessies, and stuff like that. We don't care about drill as much, and if we get drilled, we're getting drilled on a cash card. But yeah, this deck doesn't care about drill too much, so you don't have to be, you know, too nervous about that. And it's just really important that we draw names, especially in this build. Whereas like in the Fiendsmith build, you know, it's not as important, or you don't want to draw multiples. And that's the reason I got a comment asking about sign-up mining. One of the reasons that we don't want to play that card, that I don't want to play that card, is, well, one, it's like a huge ash point. Like you go -2 on that and it feels so bad. And like, you know, at the end of the day, if this deck is bricking, like if you're drawing a hand that's not playable, it's still 5 hand traps or like 4 hand traps and a cash monster, and you can still usually end on like IP plus a cash plus like 3 hand traps or something. And that's a lot of interruptions still, to hopefully draw into something, or, you know, whatever. But I just wouldn't even want to risk playing the sign-up mining, and it doesn't really help us get any meaningful extenders unless we play cards that we don't really want to be playing, like Code of Soul, stuff like that. So, you know, that plus a Maliss name, if we already have like Doormouse or whatever, it's just like redundant, and it's just bad to have a card like that's not really helping us. Or if we're going -1 on an extender, that kind of sucks. And then of course the Dustscaper. For the Kashtira cards, I got 3 Unicorn. There's a Fenrir, I'm waiting on one in the mail still. 1 Fenrir, 1 Birth, and 1 Planet. This could also, right here, this could be 2 Planet. Because Unicorn, we really do want to see Unicorn more, but it does kind of suck to clog your hand on multiples. I've been thinking about just playing 2 Unicorn, 1 Planet, and then making this another hand trap or something. But like I said, it's just more testing. Test it out, see what you like. But right now I'm on, this will be 3 Unicorn, 1 Fenrir, 1 Birth, 1 Planet. For the non-engine, we're still playing 1 Mag, 1 Druis. They're not like as good as they used to be, but these are still really good extenders in some cases. It's better than nothing for sure, in any case. And they're still pretty good in the meta. Like Fiendsmith is still really popular, so, you know, these cards are still really good. And then for hand traps and other non-engine, we're playing 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Nib. I'm playing 3 Ogre, 1 Veiler. You'll see where I play the 1 Veiler in like 5 seconds. But Ogre, like I said in that last video, has really good coverage in the meta. Like, it hits Maliss way harder now that they're stuck into these Link 2 lines. Blue Eyes is really popular. It hits the True Light, obviously. And the main thing is that Raziel's using a lot of books to protect their duo. So this and Ash are like the only 2 hand traps that are actually stopping that from resolving. So, you know, this is really important. I think Veiler's just a little bit lower impact right now. But it never hurts to draw it, and you want it for the cross out. We'll spoil it. And then the last, you know, non-engine like that is Metal Turnus. This card has a lot of applications. I can go into it after the deck profile. because I don't waste a ton of time, but a lot of applications on this card. And then last, just call by, cross out, and trip tack. Those cards are all really good. And in the extra deck, the Link ones, we got Link Rebo, J with a G, and Link Spider. This just helps you extend through Nib. Sometimes I'm not super sold on it. I think this could probably be cut, but it's just nice to have. Link 2s, we got Lizardos, obviously, Splash Mage, SP, IP, Cerberus. This is super important, and I'll go into that in a minute too. Dark for the mirror match. And then the Link 3s, we got the 3 guys, Ransom Binder and Cryptor, obviously. Firewall, Access Code, Bowacue. Like I said in that last video, this card is not great. I don't make it very often. But, you know, there's other reasons to play that, and I'll get into that too. And then the 1-of Detonator for that Metal Furnace. So, I'll start with Bow and Cerberus. Like I said, I really don't use these cards very much, especially not like going first. Sometimes I can use them late in the game, like you can use them to stabilize if you're running out of other resources. You can use it to loop stuff. But Bow is a really fantastic Metal Tronus target. And both of these cards help you deal with Chaos Hunter, which is a very difficult card to deal with in this build specifically. I would argue it's like tougher than Lancia sometimes. Cause like if you're going first, right, you can't just swing over it or whatever. You really just have to deal with that then and there, whereas Lancia you can just outlast it, like, you know, and on a couple interruptions maybe, and then, you know, kill him on the crackback. But that Chaos Hunter can be really sticky and really tough to deal with. So Cerberus is your out to that in the main deck. It really sucks if they have a hand trap for this, but you know, like if they got it, they got it. If not, you're gonna, you know, pop that Chaos Hunter and keep playing. And Metal Tronus, you can summon out the Bow off of that, and negate their Chaos Hunter, and then you extend, which is really nice too. So if you like normal Doormouse, they summon Chaos, or you'll special it off of like a Lizardos or something. You can just get that extra body off of the Bow, and then you have more Link material, and that's just really helpful. So that's all I got for the extra deck. The side deck I don't have super pinned down, and it should be more kind of tailored to your local meta. But like I said, in this build, it's gonna be kind of cookie cutter, and then, you know, we'll shift it depending on how the meta shapes up. But right now it's 3 Lancia, of course. I'm playing the 3 Forelos for going second, 1 Feather Duster and 1 Lightning Storm. There's plenty of floodgates going on right now. This helps get rid of the cross that's, you know, a huge headache. Playing 3 Bestials. This is Baldrake. This is like the only one that this plus a mouse name, even if you get interrupted, is still at least an interruption, right? If you just pass on this or whatever, or on their turn you'll do it, summon back a guy, and you get at least an additional interruption. But it's more for coverage into stuff like Fiendsmith. You know, these cards are amazing. And then for going first, I'm playing 1 DDG, or 3 DDG and 1 Shifter. This I guess isn't good for going first. I haven't decided if this is worth it to play yet. You know, more testing. But obviously it's, you know, it's Shifter, it's insane. So if you draw it, you draw it. If you don't, it's whatever. Not sure if it's worth playing at 1, but you know, we'll see. And this expected Memento to be very popular, so this is more for that than anything else. But like, it hits Blue Eyes really hard. Lots of decks that this really, you know, is very high impact against. But if you wanted something more generic, you could just play like Strikes. I probably wouldn't play Judgment in a deck like this, but you know, it's whatever you prefer. I would say like this or Strike. You know, I don't think this is as good as it could be. This should probably be something else anyway. But like I said, the side deck is just something to, you know, it'll shift as the format shifts. So this is just something kind of cookie cutter to start with and see where it goes. So just as a little bonus, I'm gonna do a 1-card Doormouse combo, because I realized I didn't have any 1-card combos in the last video. It was more just about the Kashtira build. And I'm seeing a lot of combo videos again on YouTube of people really overcommitting with their Doormouse, playing into a bunch of hand traps and doing way too much. So I'm going to show you guys a safe Doormouse combo that is my go-to. So you'll normal summon the mouse, you go effect, banish the rabbit, you go effect to summon, and then we'll go effect to set. We'll set the TB11. From here we can link 2. Into lizard, we'll go effect to banish and then effect to summon. From here, instead of going into the ransom like you normally would, you'll go into white binder. So here you will not activate the effect to banish, but you will activate the effect to set. We'll set our 06, and like I said last time, once we have 06 here with white binder and rotation, we don't care about nib. And then of course if they try to imperm us or nib us on the summon, then we just have TB11 to dodge either. So we'll set the 06. We'll activate our TB11, banishing for cost to summon out our Chessie. And then we will summon back and we'll get a draw. And from here, we will just, actually on summon, we'll activate her effect, banishing our TB11 so that we have a banished name just for when we go into Cryptor later in the game. We can go ahead and link 2 into Firewall. And that's all we need. So we still have our 4 cards in hand plus our 5th that we drew, so 5 cards in hand still. We've got our 06, which on an opponent's turn looks like summon back the white binder. Activate the white binder, banishing the white rabbit. We'll go rabbit effect to summon, rabbit effect to set. We will set our 07. We have a bounce off of our Firewall, and then we have our banish off of the 07. Plus, 5 hand traps or 5 non-engine. So like I said, it's a lot safer. I saw someone do a line into bow. They used their 06, and then on their next turn, they used the bow to bring back the white binder. There's just no point in doing that. You play into so many more hand traps, and you're essentially doing exactly what the 06 does. So, there's just no need to do that, and it plays into so many more hand traps. I can also show off a white rabbit combo. It's the weakest starter. This and the field spell are both really weak. You can't play around hand traps with them. Definitely not nib. But sometimes if it's all you got, you just gotta go for it. So you'll normal summon the white rabbit. You'll activate the effect to set. You'll set TB11, you can activate it, banishing her for cost. And you'll summon out Doormouse. You go effect to summon back. Link 2. Link 2, Splash Mage. You go Splash Mage effect, summoning back Doormouse. And you choose Doormouse because if they have a Bestial, and they Bestial White Rabbit, if you target it, then it won't come back, and you lose everything. Then we'll link 3 into White Binder. We'll go effect on Summon. We'll banish our Trap and our Doormouse, and our Doormouse will summon back. Before anything else, we'll activate our effect to set 06. And then we can activate Doormouse here. Summon back the Chessie. If we have another Maliss name in hand, then we can draw 2. But if we have another Maliss name in hand, then we're starting with that anyway. Either way, right here, we will go 3 into Cryptor, and that's all we need. So we've got Cryptor with her Banish Live. We've got 06 to bring back the binder, which will bring back her, which will set our banish. So it's 2 banishes and then our white binder triple DD Crow. And then one more funny thing that you can do, you might already know this, but if you don't, just in case, for the mirror match, if you're ending on like a Firewall line, and you're on Firewall, and you have Lancia in hand, you can Lancia them. You'll hold your Firewall, obviously, in case they can get through the Lancia. If they can't get through the Lancia and you haven't needed to use your Firewall negate, you can use your Firewall to bounce back your Lancia, and then they scoop like every time. Just something funny you can do. But yeah, that's all I got for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to see some more combos, also let me know. There's lots of combos in this deck. You know, 1 card, 2 card. Most of them are pretty derivative, so I've showed you kind of the most basic ones. And, you know, a lot of your lines are just going to be derivative of that, or, you know, the paths that you take around hand traps. And that's just stuff you learn by playing the deck. But if you guys do want to see some more of those, like, 2 card combos, let me know. If you guys have any questions or any comments about the deck list, you know, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.